users, TvR46-2 here, bringing you another tutorial video on PvP tactics in Cyrodiil for the Elder Scrolls Online. This video will be talking about assaulting a keep, some basic tips and general advice for when assaulting in order to maximize your efficiency and your survivability. During the initial setup, there are three roles that people can occupy. You can set up your own siege weapon and begin firing at the same location as other siege weapons. You can fall into a support role to defend the people on the siege weapon, which I'll cover here in a minute. And the third one is you can branch out and scout the local area to make sure that any foot soldiers are not coming in to burn your siege weapons. Now, in an organized raid, you can obviously set this up really quickly, but if you're just playing on the fly, picking a direction to go is perfectly acceptable. Now, in this situation, I'm going to support Big Eric Baby here on his siege weapon by using the Siege Shield, which can be found in the support line. Now, the Siege Shield, as you see, is a giant golden dome, which basically prevents incoming fire from siege weapons and allows Eric to continue firing out. The support shield is something that I would suggest everybody take because you never quite know what role you're going to be playing on. Assault in a keep comes in three stages. You have the first stage, which is the outer wall. You have the second stage, which is the inner door, and then you have the third stage, which is taking the flags. Now we've just breached the wall, so we're going to move in. Now, when I'm running that raid, I always tell my guys, don't be the first one in. The defenders who are up on the inner keep with their siege weapons, as soon as they see a wall go down, they like to point their weapons at that hole and start shooting. So if you're the first one in, you will get a face full of siege. The first thing you're going to want to do is go up onto the walls to clear off the defenders. The initial guys on the walls that were shooting at us are still up there. And if they're not cleared out, they in turn will just take their siege weapons, turn them around, and start firing on the guys who are setting up in front of the door. So we need to clear them out ASAP before we begin assaulting the inner keep. Attacking the keep door is done in the same way as attacking the keep outer wall. A lot of people will always go for the main doors instead of punching a hole through the walls because the doors are cheaper to repair than the walls. They have less health as well. And you can use a battering ram on a door, which you cannot use on a wall. The keep door is defended by 4 NPCs, 2 healers, 2 tanks. As an attacker, you always want to kill the healers first, but attacking the keep inner door comes with a special bonus, which is the flaming pots of oil that defenders can drop. These pots are incredibly powerful. Even at a stat boosted 50, these flaming pots are enough to almost kill a player straight up, which I'll show. If you know this guy's about to tip it, and as soon as it hits, my health begins dropping, but it also begins dropping rapidly. Even with all these heals, it's almost enough to kill me. If the defenders are using flaming pots of oil, then there's obviously no point in using a battering ram because that's just going to give them a target to drop their oil on. In this situation, you're going to want to stay back and use a siege weapon or support a siege weapon. Once the doors are down, you can begin the third stage, which is taking the flags inside. Now again, I tell my raid guys, don't be the first one in for the same reason as the outer wall. Everybody likes to set up siege weapons inside, or they'll tip the oil at the last minute and hit the first people rushing in. One tactic you can do is to set up a siege shield in front of the door, which if they do have a siege weapon set up inside, will prevent that from hitting your people. The siege shields, however, do not stop the oil, so still be careful of that. When you make your way into the keep, the first thing you'll see is a flag with 4 more NPCs, 2 healers, 2 tanks. Always go for those healers. But one thing to be careful of is that their second floor is right above you, and the opposing team likes to sit up there with more flaming oil pots or siege weapons and fire down. As a Templar, this is where I like to use my ultimate healing ability just to keep everybody alive and score some major points. As you can see, we've taken the first flag, and there is a siege weapon that was set up in order to shoot the defenders as they came through the door, which I mentioned earlier. The second flag is located just a little bit further on in the keep, except that this time you don't have to come at it through one checkpoint. You can go to the left, you can go to the right, or you can go straight down the middle. For survivability, I would always say go down the side. The defenders like to focus mainly in the middle, or they'll pick one side. Usually the right side is not the one that they choose. As you can see in the distance, people are attacking. One good tip you can do is set up a siege weapon on this side, which will allow you to fire straight into the flag, hitting those 4 NPCs and any players that like to stand behind the flag. The ballista is the best weapon of choice because it does the most damage to players and other siege weapons. Once the main bulk of the defenders have been cleared out from the second flag, you can pack up your siege weapon if you set one up and move in closer. For the NPCs, the same rule always applies. Go for the healers first. Once the NPCs are dead, you can move onto the flag and begin taking over the rest of your alliance. As soon as that second flag goes and turns into yours, your alliance now owns the keep. Which marks the end of this PvP tutorial video. I appreciate you watching, and if you like the video, please do feel free to like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more gaming videos from TvR46-2.